children of all ages, welcome back to the Fenton Forest 4X map with seasons with me, See What He So. We are in the early phase of summer. I have skipped a couple of days, not too many. I will be skipping some more days, but I want to do a quick little bit of a mod tip, tutorial-y type problem solving issue thingy discussion with you people. You may have noticed I recently updated the GPS mod, the guidance steering mod by Wopster, and obviously it now gives us this lovely new little HUD on the right hand side of the screen. And obviously to activate any menus or anything, you have to have it enabled with the little satellite on, and that then obviously toggles the lines on and off. Now originally when I went into this screen, I was having problems where it was always in feet, and the width increment settings were all a little bit weird, and the offset settings were a little bit weird, and all that sort of stuff was very, very weird. And basically there's a reason for that. If you go into your game settings and you have your measuring unit set in miles, which is what I did, because obviously I quite like to have my vehicle speed shown as miles per hour, because obviously I am English, and here in England and the UK we use miles per hour as our speed when we are driving vehicles and we are on the roads and we're operating anything to do with speed. It is miles per hour. So the only way in obviously the game to have the game show miles per hour is to have that measuring unit set to miles, because giants don't feel the need to separate speed from distance, you know, which is a bit strange. There should be a separate option, I believe, in the game for speed, so you can have miles per hour, kilometre hour, and then your distance units. But if you have it set to miles, which I have for the speed, when you go into the old GPS-y menu, you get the problem. So make sure that is set to kilometres. I know for some people that's going to be a bit of a pain in the backside for people who don't want to play, who like to play miles per hour, have their speeds, but to get the GPS to work properly, you need to have that set to kilometres in the game options, and that fixes that issue. However, I still don't get why whenever you hit auto width, I can understand it if you're on a plough, if you know you're pulling a plough or a seeder or something like that and you're at a bit of a scoot width angle. I don't understand why on, say, a chrome mower, a harvester, a Rubicon sprayer, something like that, you get an offset. I don't understand that little bit, why that is. But anyway, what I should have probably have done is return that mower anyway. And what we'll do is we'll use my mower, demonstrate this issue. So we're going to the menu. We're going to load a course. We're going to go east-west 20 metre plan. Right, that gives us that option. I now click auto width, and it hasn't given me an offset that time. Oh, interesting. I guess it's probably a little bit iffy. It's just one thing to check. Wopster says it's if you hit auto width while your vehicle is at an angle, you will get an offset. Which, yeah, I can understand when you're towing something like a seeder or a plough or something like that, that you would get that problem with a offset. But again, I don't necessarily see why you would get an offset with a mower or a sprayer or a harvester, because they don't, you know, they don't actually have an offset. Whichever direction they're facing in, their function is going to follow them, basically. You know, we don't have that extra optional function. Now, another thing I've done, I've added the old vehicle pen, animal pen extension mod. Oh yes, animal pen extension is now a real thing. Which means you no longer have to go into Giant's editor to change all the bits and bobs and doodahs. Right? So you basically, when you add animal pen extension to existing map, which uses animal pens or mods, you're basically going to get this water trough pen thing appear. And basically you need to go up to it, find it wherever it is in the pen, click customise. Now we need to move that. Now unfortunately, I don't believe there's an easy way of doing this. You kind of have to do it via hand. You need to move this wherever your water pen will be. However, you do need to be a little bit cautious. So I am told. Confirm. I need to know which is the next one. Okay, and this will be for water hosey thing. That. There we go. That looks to be about okay. Put that there. Oh, that's the animal pen done. Now it obviously throws me back into first person, which is a little bit awkward. But basically it adds the automatic watery system to maps and mods that didn't support it, basically. Over here. Water is unavailable because we don't have any animals. Now one of the things I haven't seen, and I don't know whether this is part of whether they've added it, is the, you know, the thing to sell the milk automatically from cows. I believe so far the only update they have done to the animal pen mod thing is animal pen extension mod is that you can add water to. Now I don't believe it works for chicken pens unless you have got one that's based off of the a chicken pen that's been made with the updated version of Giant's animal pens. So these two pens by Stevie won't be animal pen extension compatible. However, if you download the latest version of his map, which is the version that I'm not using, because I didn't want to start a new save. His animal pens do fully support animal pen extension. He has added that to his animal pens, all of them, including the chickens. So I will not have, my chickens will not require water, or will not give me the option to add water to them. However, if you download, or watching this video and download and use the latest and most current version of Stevie's map, you will get the that issue. Right, I have to move this one now. So we need to find where the old water trough is. Over here. Right in there. And I'm just going to rotate this. Drop that in there. Enter and accept. Basically, when I eventually get round to having pigs and cows, we're not going to have an issue with them. No, I don't. Again, water for the... Did that wrong. Basically, we can have automatic water now for all our little sheepies. That switches backwards and forwards. When we're ready, we are done. So of course we now have the option, we can manually come over here, start filling, or we can carry on filling with our traditional means of using water to fill the animals. Same with the normal fill thing over here, which isn't going to affect them. There isn't an automatic feeding system yet. Is a shame, apart from your usual animal worker retype mods. So that is done. I am going to do, because I must admit, when I'm coming around here with trailers, that thing is parked incredibly annoyingly in the way. Oh, pop out. Right, so we did some silage in the last video. We mowed some silage. I believe we're still waiting for fields at this point in time, although our main grass field is now ready to harvest. Field 8 is ready to cook properly. So I could take the mower down there and do an actual GPS course for mowing that field. Will enable us to get some more stuff done. We could actually make some more bales. I have added a new mod, by the way, as well. It's under, I think it's under balers. Could be. There's the class baler. No, nice. Or there's this one, which does slightly bigger bales. There's the big Heston bales, I believe. I reckon we'll grab one of them. We'll purchase it because it's supposed to be compatible with the auto-loading or the auto-loading trailers. Or at least I'm hoping it's compatible with the auto-loading trailers. If not, I know it's compatible with the Lizard 51-foot trailer. So we can turn the GPS lines off. What we can do, we can take this guy down to field 8. Let him do an actual course. We'll set up a course play course. Won't we? I am completely confused though by 45 kilometers an hour. I'm not going to lie, it's going to take me a long time to get used to the speed difference on these vehicles now. Now I've had to change the units I am familiar with just to make it compatible with GPS. Although Wopster is looking to change the guidance steering. I did feed it back to him over on his GitHub page. He's probably going to look at changing it because even in game, even in the garage menu, your equipment is listed in meters. It's always listed in meters. It doesn't matter what setting you select in the options, it will list widths, working widths as meters. Oh yeah. I'm going to set up a little bit of a course. Lovely grass field, proper grass field this. Not your usual rubbish. We'll whack on the old course plate. We'll check all the speeds are okay. And lights, all right. I've got 10 metre working width. We'll bring that down to 9. In field work mode, so course generation, we'll pick field 8. Headland, we'll do 2 headland passes. Headland, start working on up and down rows. Headland corners, smooth. Field centre, up and down. That's going to be fine. Alright, course. That's where it's going to stop. Right, so we'll save that as basically field 8, 9 metre mode. And basically we can load that same exact course into a baler. And the reason why I choose to do the headlands last is because if I am running down this course at the same time as the mower's going round, with a like a how should I put it? With either a loading wagon or a baler, however you want to do it, whatever you want to call it. We need to make it so that obviously if you do the headlands first, you're going to have bales around the edge of the field when the loading wagon or the baler or whatever it is trying to turn around, and it'll crash into the bales and stuff. Where at least if you turn off the bales, you will find if you do the headlands last, you can have the loading wagon going up and down quite fine, and he won't run into bales until obviously it gets to the end. Ideally, normally I wouldn't have bothered running a loading wagon or a baler straight at the same time as I'm doing the mowing. Normally I would do the mowing as in the previous Fenton Forest series, and then I'd come back later on and do like the picking up of stuff and things, you know. However, with seasons and the fact that the grass can change from grass to hay very, very quickly, we need to make sure we at least get on and produce some stuff. Right, I need a vehicle. You all do. You're kind of sat there not doing anything. What we'll do, I bought that new baler. I haven't reset it. I haven't had it delivered. I know I could drive to the store and fetch it, but I really can't be bothered. And I would have used the store deliveries mod, but I forgot to install that. I've also had issues working on some maps, so so this is going to do big 6,100 litre bales. They're a little bit bigger than the standard size bale, so it's going to be interesting to see if indeed the auto-load trailer can pick them up. The one from Alfalfa, the guy who does the auto-load script, as I say, the 51 foot, basically the 50 lizard flat deck will definitely do the big bales, because, you know, Alfalfa's, you know, on the ball. He's updated all he's made his script standalone separate for a start, and then he's updated obviously everything. It's now a case of whether the mod authors behind like this auto load pack, and whether the mod authors behind all these trailers update them to support the new script and adopt the correct format for the script, remove all the dubious extra settings that they don't need. So that is one thing. We shall wait and see. Right, you good sir. Work mode. First waypoint. Turn on field is going to be deactivated when possible. Right, and we'll see. This guy should make big bales. However, it looks like I just need to shift him a little bit to the right. As I say, this guy will make big 6,000 litre Baileys. The next test for me, when he's produced a few, will be to see if he if I can actually pick them up. These guys are flying up and down. Let me go and grab the truck. Find it. There it is. Now I quite like the idea of this truck because it's got the you know, the ramps on the back. I can also use this truck, believe it or not, to put vehicles on. It supports vehicle loading. You can slide the thing out the back. I think I probably showed you that when I bought it. You can slide ramps out and use it for transporting vehicles around the map. Very, very useful. I'm not sure whether I could get a combine up on the back there. For like if I was to do a right, so we have work mode enabled. Let's see if this will pick up the big Heston bales. Doesn't look like it. Oh, that's a shame. Damn. Right, that's a problem then. We can't pick up Heston bales with this truck. Right, let's go for another option. Nice trucks, but unfortunately do not unfortunately work with the big bales. Right, let's grab delivered. Right, this one should pick up large square bales. Providing I don't run into an issue now when I connect to this truck and trailer. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Fluor error. I'll get out the menu now. Yeah, that's a bug.
A few moments later.
Okay, so I've loaded back into game following that crash, lure error type issue dealy. Obviously you can see we are back here. The truck hasn't moved, the bale collector hasn't moved, the mower hasn't moved, so I obviously haven't had an auto save since before I started mowing. Right, let's try and figure this out then. We had an issue, I do believe, with this. At least one of them then. And then we'll grab the trailer. Because this one apparently does pick up the Heston bales. But it's obviously not much good for me if it's going to crash whenever I try connecting the truck to it. Okay, that time it didn't crash. That's an interesting one. The Heston big bales. Okay, we may have options here then. This one may work. Although I don't have the Heston big baler now because the game crashed. So you know what? I'm not actually going to buy it this time. I'm just going to lease it. Get him to deliver it for me. Vent here. I don't know why I keep that lure error crash thing happens. And I don't know how to fix it. Long term, I thought I'd fixed it a few days ago when I first encountered the issue by basically re-downloading the Easy Auto Load global script mod and then downloading the trailer, and originally it worked fine. However, I elected to go for the version over there. The trailer over there is my auto-loady trailer type thing.
Tomorrow.